In this video, we are going to talk about managing and setting up your document library. The document library is your organization's online repository for important documents. So when you think about the document library, think about SOPs, policies, training manuals, apparatus documentation, safety data sheets, HR and benefit materials, maybe ICS templates. Documents uploaded here are immediately accessible to authenticated users on desktop, mobile, and tablet devices. Now, the big thing to remember here, much like the Platform Connect, anything posted in the document library is not going to be presented on your large screen. Because of the sensitivity of the documents that you could post here, documents do not appear on those wall-mounted dashboards or large screen displays. And just like the others, to access the document library, we just need to go to that main menu. And once you go to that main menu, click on that document library icon, you enter the screen like this. Again, you'll have the documents that are already posted into your library on the right-hand side in the document library screen. You can scroll up and down through those if you need to come in here to edit or remove. We'll talk about that later. But where you want to focus right now is on this document library creation panel. As you may recognize from the past other videos, this is set up just like the events and news and announcements screen. Again, you have the title up top. You want to keep it clear, concise, and descriptive so your people know exactly what they're seeing and what they're accessing when they click on it. Use that small description box to add a little bit of context to give people that ability to pre-screen it before they click all the way into that document. Of course, categories are always set by your organization. So pick the category or multiple categories that relate and help people find this document if they're searching in the search function. And then you can also pick visibility. So visibility, as we know from the other videos, is whether you want all users to see it and have access to it, or you want to have specific groups or individual people that have access to this document. So once you select that, then you can also require acknowledgement. This is another one of those places where you can have accountability, and you can click that require acknowledgement button. And when it does select, then you have the due date option where you pick the date and the time by which each individual needs to acknowledge their receipt of that document. You can also select to send emails. Again, if you have individuals using the individual user accounts and you want to have an email sent as a secondary notification, you can click that and it'll send an email to those people advising them that there's a new document in the document library and whether they need to acknowledge it or not. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to click the Add Files button. And it'll open a window from your desktop, and you can navigate to anywhere on your computer where you store your documents. So it's a Google Drive, or it's on your desktop, or somewhere else in your network. You can go in, you click on that document, and you can upload that document. Once you get that all set up, you get the file added. Just simply come down here to the Save button, and it will save that document to your library. It's also important to note that you can upload more than one document under one title. So sometimes documents have to come in chapters or multiple sections of a manual, that kind of thing. You can put them under one document link, but then you can have them individually listed where you can see there's multiple documents under this one header. And that way your people can access all those individually. Again, it's great for manuals where you want to put in chapters or different sections and break out your content under that topic heading. PDF is strongly recommended for all documents. PDFs render consistently across all devices and platforms, and keep those file sizes under 10 to 15 megabytes for the best mobile performance. Large files can be slow to open on phones out in the field. So if you've seen any of the other videos, editing and deleting documents from your library is just like those other places like events and news and announcements, where you can come over to the field of documents. You can find the document you want. Again, you can search up here. You have the search box. You can sort alphabetically ascending, descending, or you can do it by keyword, or you also have the funnel. You can search by topic. But once you find the item that you want, you can edit or delete. So again, edit, just click the icon with the little pencil. It'll come open in a pop-up window. You can edit any field in here. Once you're done, click that Save and Close button. If you want to remove that document, simply come in here and click on that trash can icon. It'll challenge you or question you as to whether you truly want to delete this forever. If you do, click that red Continue button and it will delete it. If not, click that Cancel button, it'll stop the process. To keep in mind is when a document is revised, say an annual SOP update, a new version of a policy, an updated apparatus manual, something like that, you can replace the file directly on the existing record rather than deleting it and re-uploading it. This is important because it keeps any existing links and references valid, and it ensures members immediately see the updated version and preserve any required acknowledgments tied to that document. Now, as an admin user, it's important for you to understand how documents might appear across different devices. So on the desktop, documents open in a browser tab and are ideal for reading multiple page PDFs in detail. On a tablet, the experience uses larger tap targets and a hybrid layout. So it's useful for training sessions or equipment checklists and things like that. On a mobile device, documents open in a scrollable card list with category filters designed for quick field reference. Tapping a document opens it either in the app's built-in viewer or the device's default PDF viewer. Now let's talk about some best practices for library organization. There are a few practices that you might want to take into account when you are using a document library and to keep it clean and generally useful over time. Number one is use clear, consistent naming conventions. Something like SOP 300.1 dash whatever the title is, or policy dash employee benefits dash January 2026. That tells the member exactly what they are looking at before they even open it. Documents can get outdated, so make sure that you replace files, those outdated files, rather than just re-uploading new ones. It keeps audit trails intact and prevents version confusion. Also, use descriptions to provide context. As I mentioned earlier, especially for documents that apply to specific personnel groups or that include important notes like revised compliance type procedures, using a good description lets those people understand exactly what they're tapping into before they click on it. Auditing is absolutely important. Make sure that you audit your library at least quarterly. Remove those outdated materials, confirm categories reflect their current structure, and replace any of those SOPs or policies with updated versions. And for multi-station organizations or multi-district or however you're organized, use identical categories and naming conventions across all stations, districts, or whatever your construct is of your larger organization. Every member should be able to navigate the library in the same way, regardless of which station or location that they are assigned to. And that is how you manage your document library.